The Loaísa expedition was a 16th-century voyage of discovery to the Pacific Ocean, commanded by Garcia Jofre de Loaísa and ordered by King Charles I of Spain to colonize the Spice Islands in the East Indies. The seven-ship fleet sailed from La Coruña in July 1525 and became the second naval expedition to cross the Pacific Ocean in history, after Magellan-Elcano's voyage. The expedition resulted in the discovery of the Sea of Hoces, south of Cape Horn, and the Marshall Islands in the Pacific. One ship ultimately arrived in the Spice Islands on New Year's Day of 1527. Origins. De Loaísa's expedition was conceived both as a rescue mission and a voyage of discovery. The Victoria, a vessel from Magellan's expedition to the Pacific, had returned to Spain with word that her sister ship the Trinidad had last been seen attempting to return home by sailing east from the Spice Islands to South America. De Loaísa was ordered to seek Trinidad, or news of her fate, by voyaging along her expected return route to Spain. Failing this, he was to locate and colonize Magellan's Spice Islands, and also to bring back news of the semi-mythical land of Hobe, which Spanish scholars believed may be somewhere near China. For this purpose, De Loaísa was assigned 7 vessels and total of 450 men, including tradesmen and administrators, for the Spice Islands settlement. Atlantic voyage. The expedition set sail from Coruña on July 24, 1525. It consisted of 6 galleons: Santa Maria de la Victoria, Sancti Spiritus, Annunciada, San Gabriel, Santa Maria del Parral and San Lesmes under Patache, Santiago. De Loaísa was named captain along with Juan Sebastian Elcano, who had reached the Spice Islands in 1521 during the Magellan expedition. The fleet headed southwest to the Canary Islands and then south along the African coastline. In November 1525, De Loaísa moved west across the Atlantic to Brazil, reaching the Patagonian shore in January 1526. There was no sign of Trinidad, and De Loaísa decided to abandon the search for her and continue instead to the Spice Islands. However, the weather was poor, and over the next several weeks, in high winds while trying to enter the Strait of Magellan, the ships alternately gathered and dispersed. 2 ships, Sancti Spiritus and Annunciada, were wrecked, and one, San Gabriel, tacked into the Atlantic and deserted the expedition. The San Lesmes, under the captaincy of Francisco de Hoces, was driven south along the coast, possibly to a latitude of 57 degrees, where the crew noted an end of land, which may have been the first European sighting of Cape Horn. After some difficulty, Hoces was able to steer his galleon northward once more, rejoining the other 3 vessels that remained with the expedition. On the 26th of May 1526, this diminished fleet of 4 ships, 3 galleons and the Patache, passed through the strait and entered the Pacific voyage. The bad weather, which had originally scattered De Loaísa's fleet, continued in the Pacific. The 4 remaining vessels quickly lost sight of each other in the heavy rain and were unable to regroup when the storm finally passed on the 1st of June. The Santiago sailed for north, and in a 10,000-kilometer voyage, reached the Pacific coast of Mexico in July 1526, achieving the first navigation from Europe to the western coast of North America. San Lesmes disappeared entirely. 20th-century speculation suggests she may have run aground in the Marquesas Islands, either on the island of Anaa, where a 1774 expedition found a cross erected on the beach, or off the Amanu Atoll, where an old Spanish cannon was later found. The fate of the San Lesmes is explored in Greg Cohen's conspiracy thriller The Spanish Helmet, which is based on Robert Langdon's theory that the lost vessel made its way to and discovered New Zealand. The third ship, Santa Maria del Peril, sailed the Pacific to Sangir off the northern coast of Sulawesi, where the ship was beached and its crew were variously killed or enslaved by the natives. 4 survivors were rescued in 1528 by another Spanish expedition coming from Mexico. The last galleon, Santa Maria de la Victoria, was the only ship to reach the Spice Islands, landing in September 1526. Survivors: Loaísa himself died of scurvy on July 30, 1526, Elcano a few days later, and Alonso de Salazar 3 weeks after that. Noguez reached the islands of Visayas and Mindanao in the Philippines and the Moluccas, but died of food poisoning. Only André de Urdaneta and 24 other men survived to land in the Spice Islands. They returned to Spain in 1536 in the Portuguese India Armada and under Portuguese guard.